Hey guys, Josh here with Windy City again. Hey, I was rewatching those last two videos that I posted about the PMs, um, things to focus on and things to avoid, and I realized that I missed some of the fundamentals and skipped right into kind of the intangibles, the things that people don't often think about. But that started to bother me a little bit because, obviously this channel is about teaching and learning, and I forget that sometimes the simplest things are the ones that you actually come here to see. So I'm just going to give you a kind of a synopsis of things to do and things not to do on PMs. Um, and just kind of all in one little video. So take notes if you want to, but these are just a couple of brief things that are very important to keep in mind, and if you do them all correct, your PMs will turn out really well. So let's start with the things to do. Always make an initial trip, take an equipment inventory, note anything that's obviously wrong. You want this so you don't get into trouble while you're doing the PM, and it goes above and beyond, the price that you quoted to begin with. So always make an initial trip before you even start the PM service. Know what you're getting into, and the condition of the equipment itself. Oftentimes it's a better idea to bring it all up to code, all up to par, before even agreeing to do the PM. So next thing is, once you have the PMs in place, make sure you always call ahead to schedule. Managers specifically like a few days heads up at least, because they've got orders coming in, food orders, things like that. Certain days are just better than others for them to do a PM. So always abide by their wishes on that. When you get there, always check in with an MOD. Make sure somebody knows you're there. You don't want a situation where they say, hey, you didn't show up for an hour later because they didn't know you were on the roof. So always check in with the MOD. Always document in detail all of your findings, okay? Even if the piece of equipment is working well, is working fine, make sure you document that. Make sure you say, piece of equipment was in great condition, only 2 months old, or this piece of equipment was a piece of shit, replace it. Just make sure you document in detail everything that you found, so there are no questions. Leave no questions, all right, is what I always say when people ask what to write in their description. Um, if you find anything especially bad, make sure you take before and after pictures. Or even if something you think something is going to turn out well, make sure you take before and after pictures. Customers love to see that. You can always use it for marketing material and things like that as well in the future. So before and after pictures are a great way to prove to the customer exactly what you did. When you change the filters, always date them, and make sure that the date is visible as well. We had a situation here at WCE where we were dating all the filters, but we were dating the back sides of them. So when the facility managers would go on the roof and look at the filters, especially here in dusty Arizona, they get dirty quickly. They wouldn't see the dates on the filters and they'd get upset. And so we'd have to say, all right, well, take the filter out, turn it around, you'll see the date. And but anyway, now obviously we date everything where you can visibly see it. So anything that uses a belt, exhaust hood, certain HVAC units, always leave an extra belt in there in case there's a situation where the belt breaks, or that extra belt is needed. You can always charge for it. Make sure you just include it in your bid. The cost of that belt, but it's always very smart to leave an extra belt up there. If there's a service call on it, if there's something, anybody can go and replace it, and makes things a whole lot easier. So extra belt. Always do a final walkthrough. Look, when you're doing these PMs, I'm a realist. I understand you're shutting units off, you're turning them on, you're killing power, you're turning that back on, you're disconnecting disconnects and reconnecting them, and It's not uncommon, it's not unrealistic to think that something may get missed. So a final walkthrough just to make sure everything is back on, belts are all tight, filters are all in, is very vital. It's a must. So you don't want a stupid call like somebody left a unit off in the dead of summer after a PM because they just forgot to turn it back on. Nothing boils my blood more than that. So make sure to always do a final walkthrough. And then the last thing that I have for that is always check out with the MOD, not the cooks, not the chef, unless the chef is the one that hired you or your main point of contact, but always check out with the person that needs to have the information that you are about to deliver. All right, go over everything that you found, go over any quotes that they can expect to get, go over any safety issues, anything pressing, go over all of that with the right person, get a signature, proof that you actually discussed this with somebody, okay? So those are all the things to do on a PM. Now we're going to move on to the things not to do on a PM. Actually, I'm going to make that another video. So tune in next week to see what not to do on the PMs. I got to get going here in a minute. I got a big meeting this morning. So just check back next week. I'll have a whole list of things not to do. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Lots of new content here in 2018. Make sure you subscribe below or on the end screen, wherever it is, somewhere over here. Also, we got a new podcast going on right now. Link is below in the comments, and a newsletter to keep it all in one place. So make sure you get all that on your to-do list, and any questions, comments, recommendations, comment below. Let me know. Get a hold of me. Got a lot of things to come, so stick around. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. We'll catch you next week.